Hi everyone! I may be a bit quieter today, unfortunately. My microphone's a little bit farther away, but today we have a special day. Yay! So, I was invited by Iris Interactive to their latest, basically their first actual event, which is a Genshin Impact collab cafe with Factory Tea Bar. And the name of this event was Where the Wind Blooms. It was a free immersive Genshin Impact event that had all sorts of cosplayers, games, all sorts of different things all over the place. And I'm happy to share it all with you because yay, it was a lot of fun and they were amazing people. They allowed me in, gave me a VIP pass. I took pictures all over the place. So I get to share with all of you everything that happened. So hope you'll enjoy as I go along through this. But first, how is everyone's day? How are all of you doing? What have you been up to? It is now Saturday, and it is the end of the week. Has the week treated you nice? Has the week treated you well? And there's usually a lot of ups and downs. So, with all that, we tend to need time to vent, time to heal, do things that we can for ourselves, and things that are fun for us often are very healing, or that are more relaxing, it depends on your kind of what you see as healing. But as you know, you humans are important to me because, well, I wouldn't be here without you. So, let me see. Let me bring this over. And so, with all that in mind, my week has been a bit chaotic. As you may be able to tell, I did debut this week. I saw all y'all on Wednesday, and very interesting. I was nervous to come in front of all of you because you wished me into being as a very interesting individual. And, well, I am the product of your wishes and prayers. So, I am glad to be here, in a way, because I wouldn't be here without you. So, also, after all the pictures and things like that and the event stuff, we're going to be trying to make our own things. So I have loaded up a bunch of different ingredients and drinks and things like that, and it should be fun. We should be able to find out what these interdimensional travelers from this world of, well, this story. All I know is this is a story, but it is said at times that stories are a gateway to another dimension, and we're just telling their lore and their tale. It's very interesting if you think about that, because here you are, able to write a novel, able to take a peek at something that would be considered another dimension, and well, it's totally foreign, something that's never been done before. It's even if people copy each other, there's usually things that individuals put in, little things that make it individual to yourself. I don't suggest copying people because that is not a good thing, because that falls in the realm of, well, insanity. And I'd rather you practice the realm of madness, where try little different things, big different things, things that just change, so you can get a result rather than just trying to brute force with the same actions and just keep getting the same results. So, as you know, that is the definition of insanity. Well, shall we be on our way in trying out, seeing what this event was all about, how it was fun, what there was to do, what there wasn't there to do. So, let's see. All right, let's go. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. Well, let me. Uh-oh. Wow, that's large. This event was held in a place called San Gabriel, California. So it was held in a place called LA County. But as you can see, there was quite the lineup for people here. It was quite something, because, well, if you know the Los Angeles area, well, it's actually pretty hot. Oh, thank you, Sunshine Seraph. Hello. It's pretty hot out there. So, coming from the cold reaches of the void down here for the event, to see and look around and do all that stuff, well, it was pretty warm to stand in this line. So I was really lucky that they were able to give me a VIP pass. Alright, let's... Yep, California does that too. I remember going to, or traveling all the way to Anime Expo one time, and well, let's just say the heat was killer for what I was wearing at the time. And even though it probably wasn't all that much, it was still pretty bad. Alright, so I was checked in by the nice people. Wow. But they got me all checked in. And, well, you signed in, you did all this stuff, and they gave you stickers, or keychains, lanyards, things like that. And they even gave you wristbands for drinks and other such things. So it was actually a lot of fun. Well, the stickers I got were kind of all over the place. So I didn't get a chance to take a picture of them in time for this. On to the next. Yay! So that was the entrance where you checked in, did things like that, had a lot of fun like that. Well, from there, they introduced you to their realm. Wow. Right. See if I can make this smaller. As you can see, it was kind of an interactive setup, which was really nice. There was a bunch of cosplayers there, and they were in character. I mean, they were in character. It was amazing. So, and some people tried to push, shove, and make them break character. And they kept going at it 100%, almost as if they were from Genshin itself. So, right here in this one, right, correct? Well, you had Albedo and Sucrose. Albedo was painting, very nice painting, and then when travelers walked up, they introduced them to this realm they are staying at, and as such, they needed help. This help came in the form of, if you can see the little stickers on the ground right there, or on the table right there, they literally gave you one, and they had an entire map of the Los Angeles area. So, for those who aren't familiar with the Los Angeles area, that way it could help them out, even to find the most comfortable, the most neat, the most interesting places all around. Heck, it even helped me find places. So, they also gave a stamp rally card, if you can see to the left right there. The stamp rally was for them to check in and spread their culture as only they could do. So you could understand them and they could understand you. So with how the stamp rally went is you would go to these different booths and basically interact with these people from Genshin. These interactions were all over the place. Games, fun, little things here and there. So, with that in mind, let's get on to the next. I placed my sticker pretty much at random, though, which was very interesting for me. But, alright. Well, the first thing, though, is I had to see the innovations of you humans. So I walked around what was called the merch area. This merch area had so many things in it, all different colors, all different shapes, all different sizes, and it was pretty amazing. So I was able to take a pictograph of each one. So here we go. Alright, so the first one was a very interesting color and shade. Did you see a little hint of it? It was this booth. Yeah, cute. So, as you can see, they were had very interesting variations, colors and styles and things like that, all over the place. If I were to say, if you can, or like even some of the things were a little bit more on the interesting side when it comes to your human imagination, which I can tell from your imaginations you have quite something. So, ta-da! On to the next. But is that a fan I see? Great for those hot days. And, well, it seems like there was a lot of fans out there for this interdimensional walking. Alright. Let us. Alright. As you can see, this one had a pretty big booth. And, well, had all sorts of vibrant pictures, things that looked amazing, keychains that were made of metal, colored oh so well. You humans are very amazing, very crafty when it comes to things. So, taking a look out of all of this, their imagination ran wild. And, well, it may not be my realm. The knowledge to create all this stuff. Well, the trials, the failures, that's more my realm, and I'm thankful for that. So, hi there, Rita. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, so from all this stuff that they created, trials, the failures, all the stuff, right? It looks really interesting. Yeah, even all the stickers and things. Well, it can be a lot of fun. Alright. This next one was pretty huge though. So, ta-da! One moment. So, the pictures I take are very, very large because, well, I want to etch every detail into my memory. And as such, I get to share it with all of you. So, as you can see, this booth was super large. Like, I mean, super duper large. And you can see on the side here, right there, well, right there, it's a bunch of clothing and different things like that, like howdies and things like that from different cultures. So a mixture of, I believe your Genshin thing comes from the minds of what would be China, mixing with what comes from Japan. It turns out some very interesting things. And then over there, you can see ribbons, see like one-shot posters, things like that. So many of you have different things that you love and adore, and it's absolutely wonderful. So, I'm actually very proud of you humans for being so creative and so knowledgeable with your time. Just take a look at all this. It is absolutely amazing. Your ingenuity. And, well, let's get on to the next. Yay! Alright, next one. Maybe a bit smaller, but it was still mighty. Wacha! Alright, so this on screen. It was small but mighty. You can see there was so many cute. I believe the form is, well, tiny. These tiny things were all over the place, causing mischief in their own special way. You can even see holographic things right there. But, well, with the mischief they caused, and with how cute they were, well, I believe the Japanese term for this is chibi. Or taking a little thing from large size, from the things you can see up here, down to the small size, which you can see far over there. And it also goes with the word small, which is chisai. So, it's interesting that chi and chisai are in the same realm of possibilities. The kanji for them is very interesting. But, as you can see, as much ruckus as they cause, they also are very cute. And cuteness does wheedle your way into your heart. On to the next. Oh, yeah. What? Okay. Boom. Yes, I took the pictures myself. I was invited there. Yep, the organizers invited me and gave me a nice VIP pass so I could take all the pictures all around. It was a lot of fun. So, never give up your innovations, never give up your hopes, your dreams, because as you can see, they were very, very proud of themselves. This is the artist right here, and, well, they created all this. They were so happy when someone wanted to take a picture of all their things, and, well, I was happy too as well, see, just take a look at all of it. The expressions, the colors, all of that. It's what super nice. And well, you have things like this right up here that looks like my kin from the abyss. You have things that are well, rather breezy up here, and well, rather flowery down here. All of this together makes some well, interesting combinations all over the place. How one human can create so many styles, have so much fun, all this stuff, and in the end, they're able to express this with others, and maybe hopefully gain back some of what passion they put in. That way, they can create more things with their passion in the future. Because passion, as you know, is part of madness. And that madness, what fuels that fire. They were actually really nice. So they were charging actually not too much in this day and age. This day and age, usually you have to pay what, 25, 35, what is it, USD? And more in different areas of the world. Canada is, I believe, you're paying like 35 to 45 CAD. Mexican pesos, holy, oh my gosh, you have to carry so much around. It's why a lot of the times we rely on cards and things like that now, because well, it's easier, just a one-stop shop. Mm-hmm. It does look so good, right? Okay, on to the next. Next. All right, let us bring this in. Woo. The artist once again was there. So we're able to see their creations. You can see they had some amazing work with what you humans call plastics. And well, it's pouring plastics, so it's well resin. It's so neat that you can create all these resins, all these cards. They even had tarot cards that they're able to divine the information from the void. Maybe I should break out my tarot cards one day and see what my siblings and cousins and aunts and uncles are up to, what information they'll give all of you. So, as you can see, they even have a giant book of all their works. all their works, all that hard work, all those years. It's, well, I think Genshin now is years old? 3 years old? I don't know. I remember. But all that hard work is lots of fun. And, well, their passion is really shown. Because their dedication through all this, all that, even being out here on such a hot day. Well, yeah, for a globe hopper like myself, and who bases themselves out of an international hub. Seeing this type of passion always lights a fire with so many. Alright. Well, this booth was neat. So much stuff. Sorry, I have to resize each one by one, but I was only able to dump them off my device. That I was able to capture all these instances right right before I started streaming. All right, ta-da! Look at all this work. This was one of the few ones that I was actually tempted to procure an item from myself even. A lot of this had a lot of amazing, brilliant golden shine, and oh, it was absolutely beautiful. The art and how things intertwined together, how both was chaotic and beautiful. This is probably one of my more favorite places, as you may be able to tell. I procured an item, so it is. I would suggest going to take a look at them if you ever get a chance. Like uh, there were so many out there, but this one has to be. I'm sorry, all the other ones, passion and beauty shows through, but one is has captured my soul and fire. Right, on to next. Wow. Alright, on to the next one. I was very tempted at this one too. They had the plushie. Well, the plushies are always adorable, and they're so soft. And well, they're little tiny humans. I can make do whatever I want to do. Have them little dance and things like that. So I enjoy plushies a lot. They're a lot of fun. But as you can see, way beyond just plushies. I have so many different items here, like bands that you use when you're plushies, the stickers, the keychains that made out of both resin and metal, and well, little heart things for those of you to show your devotion to different that you enjoy from that universe, and they hope and pray for you. Well, you also have the resin cats on the side once again, which is see right here, and then interesting trading cards. So you can keep your devotion with you all over the place in passion. But well, I didn't end up getting a plushie. I'm sad. But maybe next time you get a very nice plushie. Next one! Haha! I think this should be the last one of all the merchants. Alrighty. As you can see, there's the artist right there. I'm very happy about their work being shown as well. All that stuff created by just one person. And well, that just one person, take a look. All those tiny keychains, all that delicate work. From making sure it goes from a large size to, well, scales all the way down to that size very well. The cards, the art, and how they've dreamed up, well, some of the more risque work there. It's always fun to see someone's passion, even if their passion is, well, more in the romantic realm. Oh, I lied. There are, I think, few more. Yada, yada. My pictures are kind of a bit out of order. We'll see, probably two more vendors. Should be a lot more fun. As you can see, they had tiny little experiments. Experiments that are very cute, very plushy, and they hide very well. They're absolutely adorable, and if I could have bought one, I would have bought one. So, yeah, maybe next time I could acquire an experiment of my own, or maybe experiment with all of you. That's always a possibility. But as you can see, these experiments right here captured my art. And, well, the art is also pretty amazing as all over, that it has just this awe to it that it's almost reaching out to you. So, if you get a chance, you may want to be able to procure something that captures your heart and soul. Mm-hmm. And this is the last one. So, this was what you call a double booth, or two people from different genres were running it together. Two different sets. As you can see, oh, right here, more plushies. But these are crocheted ones, so that means they have to put in a lot more hard work to make each and every one for you. And over there, on the farther side, well, there's a bunch more pictures and things like that that were created for all of you. And it looks like they even have tiny keychains and caps and even things for the back of your smartphones, I believe it is. And so these smartphones, well, you can support yourself with these little tiny caps right there in the bottom left over there. It was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of art that it truly shows how much you humans can prevail when you want to really be with your community. Community makes you much, much stronger together, and it gives you people to support you, people to lean on, and, well, together you can worship much, much harder. Yeah. I will because that knowledge comes to you from somewhere, somehow, right? And, well, I get those prayers too. Mm-hmm. So, there was other types of art there as well. And this one was quite interesting. See, in this day and age, it's not just all that guitar and rock and roll. Times you have beautiful orchestral pieces, and as you can see right here, they actually were playing BGM music from within Genshin Impact. All these talented musicians right here were happy, and more than happy, to share their passion, love, and their craft. It was literally beautiful to hear. As I stood there, it made me forget at times just how hot it was. So, forgetting the heat was a big plus. Alright, now on to the fun and games. Back to those who have been transported from the Genshin Impact realm. See, they were not just transported here, they were lost from their own times and led astray. So, you were there to help them and to figure out clues for whatever they were doing. So, as you can see, ta-da! They were very passionate about trying to get home, but at the same time, learning and growing with the people around them. So, the game here was whose shoe was that? Because, well, each shoe made a different track. And as they tried to track down their friends, well, you had to help them find their way around and about. So, we got to play a game of whose shoe was that? Because, well, as you can see, they may not be the best of intelligence-wise, but they'll their way in there. Alright, on to the next. Well, the next one was what? Okay. Ta-da! Well, these lovely ladies here were able to use their brains, but one of them had a really weird psychosis issue that they kept being poked out at by the other lady. So, yeah, they got poked at a lot when they were, well, my right eye is burning and the darkness is calling me. The person next to them was like, hey, oh, it's okay. It was very cute. But in this one, they actually did have to use your brain. So, in this realm, you and them were teaching each other's language, because, well, they had to get around here, and if you happen to spot things from your realm or their realm, you would know where to look and how to look at it. So you were helping translate together what from different realms to help each other. And as you can see, well, helping each other is the big name of the game here, because, well, as one helped the other, things kept lively. Okay, on to the next. Well, there was quite the number of realm walkers looking all over the place for all different types of things. And these individuals were able to find some respite inside this dwelling for a bit. As you can see, they look like knights of some sort. And these knights, well, they seemed more in tune with guarding and protecting. And some others, the blue one over there, probably seemed more wowing others. But overall, they seemed to enjoy themselves and enjoy what was going around as they saw all the travelers and tried to make them feel as much at home as possible as they came into this dwelling that they had repurposed as their own. And to the next. Well, they also gave hints about how their power came to occur within themselves and where their powers had come from. So they wished to share it with all the other individuals there, and that's how this came to be. Here, there was some very interesting stuff. I'm glad. I'm glad if they can even see a bit of it. But yes, the people here, well, they shared their powers, and it's what's called a vision. So a lot of my worshippers have a vision as well for their own knowledge, but this type of vision usually comes in an elemental format. So as you can see, they were all around them creating a vision, all sorts of forms through all sorts of their imagination, and as such, gathering power in this dwelling spot so that they may be able to return home. So why not in the future try and help these people with their vision? On to the next. But to build this all up, well, you have to build at times. And, well, this building actually came into building, picking apart, putting upwards, and, well, at times just having fun in how they interacted with other people. As you can see, they were building right here a hopeful way to get home. And, well, with this, they hopefully were able to eventually perfect themselves so they could build, so they could better build with their visions in the future. But I heard a lot of crashing a lot of the time, so it seemed like they failed a lot. But they got right back up and continued to try. They even had the other travelers around trying to help them build up their future for themselves. And it's amazing that they did, because as you can see, it's a lot of fun as you build and grow together. So why don't you try, if you can, especially in the future, building up together with others can be a lot of fun and can be very inspiring, even if it comes crashing down each time. You just get up, try again, because, well, the most harm that happened was maybe a smashed toe or a, well, a loud noise. Wow. Alright. But this realm was quite the one of lights. As you can see here. Moment. As you can see here, it's quite the playful realm, as they were trying to stack everything and put everything in. Play different games that help them with their dexterity, their hand-eye coordination. Hi! Hi. How are you doing, Oni Sanpai? But yes, as you can see, a lot of fun went into this place, and, well, there was all sorts of things all over the place. They even had an rest area where you could sip a simple cup of tea, but it seemed to be milk tea, which we may be actually trying to create later. And, well, a thing called boba, which you experimented with, and from what was tapioca to create a round ball that was chewy, like what you would call a gummy, which is fun. Alright, on to the next. Yay. Well, speaking of hand-eye coordination, there's some other series here that may not be of this realm. And, well, hopefully they can get back to the realm, but they had some weird shapes and forms, and they like to scream a lot. But as you are able to see, there is a lot in the way of hand-eye coordination here, even, well, hand-foot coordination, as you danced about and built their stamina. This stamina, well, maybe I'll help them in the future as they go on their journey once again, because as we are travelers, so too are they. And, well, these travelers go across very universes through time and dimension. Alright. Now, we get into the risque. And by risque, I mean... seems like people were putting their very lives, you could say, gambling with their very lives. I believe these people are called the Fatui, and these Fatui were gambling with these poor innocent souls because, well, what does a Fatui do best? And walk the realm of souls, try alternate methods, see the ends of madness. So, they're my kind of people too. So I enjoy the Fatui. But, well, these humans may not like the outcome of what these Fatui may have in store for them. So, wish them luck. And, well, I'm not sure if these Fatui shall need luck, because they have madness on their side, and the knowledge that comes from experiencing that madness. Alrighty. And then, well, these beasts, they didn't seem all that human. And, well, they contained powers beyond the comprehension of normal mortals. So, as I witnessed this game happening, it seemed like they were trying to divine or purify something. As you could see, these poor mortals with them seemed they may have been cursed. So, well, these bestial humans or theranthropes tried their best. And theranthropes really did an amazing job in purification in the area. So much so that, well, I had to stop off and after this and, well, rehydrate myself. Being from the void, well, we kind of straddle that line of darkness and light. More chaos, though. Much more chaos. Then, as I was exiting, there was more individuals that wished to portray their arts to these others. And the way in which they did so was it was through song, as you may be able to see. So, it is believed that, I believe in your world, that song can cross all sorts of divides and give you all sorts of hopes, beliefs, joy, laughter, sorrow, all combined together to, well, even in modern song, as you saw classical song before, this is modern song, and madness holds true, and this madness is amazing because it spans time, space, and dimension, getting your heart through to other people. Maybe I should try this song stuff in the future. Karaoke, maybe? Up to all of y'all. But through all this, they wanted you to make some memories and walk away with some memories, because as this vision will not last, and as these travelers themselves return home, well, so too they want you to keep them in your hearts. So they had little things for you at the end, little surprise things. As you can see, all the amazing, beautiful stickers, and they were free. So it was all, you would get a pack or one or two for each, for all doing all the stuff with all the people there. And, well, you learned more, you played more, and all together it made a better time. It's so much more fun when you're able to express yourself, play with others, and, well, have a little madness thrown in. And I want to see all of you maybe have a bit of chaos. But for all this, for all that, was one faithful companion, one very interesting, a very questionable faithful companion that you all may know. And this individual helped me out quite a bit because they were always ready, always willing to come to aid, except for when we got to the drinking part. Especially when we got to the drinking part. That was worrying at a point because, well, they did seem to have quite the problem with it. But through it all, we had this individual right here. I believe their name was Venti, as they helped the travelers and guided the winds. So they went all through, taking us through area to area, place to place, and, well, making sure that things went well for us. So I want to thank Venti here because they were an amazing guide, especially to travelers like myself, where I know not much of this realm, and I'm studying you humans every day. So they allowed me more of an insight to humans and apparently Theranthropes from other realms as well. So, you Venti. And with that, yatta! We come to our conclusion. Yay! Alright. So, on to our next part. The actual part that why you may actually be here. And that may be what? The cooking segments. Alright. So, let me just make sure everything is all set and ready. Ta-da! Hi. As you may be able to see, I have some various glasses and various cups scattered about. And well, from here, well, we'll be trying to make various mixed drinks, cocktails, things like that. And, well, there was a request for a certain cocktail, but, well, these are non-alcoholic ones. So, let me make these. Aha. And for everything here, I should be able to make it all. Except for the tomato ones, because the tomato ones kind of freak me out. Mixing savory and sweet is all well and good, but well, like I said, it kind of freaks me out. Especially if you've had one too many of those Bloody Marys. Alright. So, the first request was shakalaka or shakalaki. So, to start with that one, I actually have a cup here. Glass cup. Yatta! And it looks like it has a green base with a bluish hue, as well as, well, a topper of, well, what looks like slimes. So I am going to be using Ramune. So this is going to be a mixed soda. So this is going to be a melon Ramune and a Hawaiian blue Ramune. So so let's get that green one started. Alright, that's the bottom. So these things are dangerous because they are carbonated. Well, that carbonation tends to like to back up and some very spring and make things very sticky. So the neat thing about Ramune is the actual glass bottle design, as you can see. So there are two indentations right here around what would be a normal neck, and inside, or actually, let me get the unsealed one. Actually, the unsealed one doesn't have a marble in it yet because I haven't pushed it in. So, may be able to see. There we go. It has a marble inside of it. What you want to do is hook that marble between these two glass indentations right here. These two glass indentations are going to allow you to keep the marble from clogging up the area. Well, let's slowly. So, as you can see, I poured only a little bit in the glass. And next comes, well, the blue one. Go over the top. Hopefully, these two shall not mix. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to open them and push down the marble. So I have one of my friends when I was first coming to this realm. They got me one of these, and I accidentally, well, let's just say, they opened theirs, and it went all over them. So I was just like, oh, okay, I'll be a smart one. So I was riding back to my dwelling at the time, and I put my hands outside the window and popped it outside. Well, it didn't fizz on me, but as soon as we exited that transportation and we looked outside, well, unfortunately, I am very sad, but I had to wash their car. It was very embarrassing because it had given their entire side of their car one heck of a decoration, and well, you could just see the streaking trail all the way across the side. It was quite something. So it was quite interesting and a lot of fun as I experiment with you humans as you create different interesting things. Alright, so let's see. I actually probably should almost a little bit more green here. And now we will erupt the blue one. Yay! Neither of them exploded. So, with this, we will have to be very careful so as not to mix it. So, see if we can slowly but surely give this. Well, bad news is, I may have added a bit too much green. So, it's still very lime green. But, where is my other glass cup? You have one more glass cup. And, see, let's add maybe a little bit of green this time. And, well, a heck of a whole lot more blue. If nope, it just turned and mixed them together. Well, they are different pretty colors now. But yeah, let me see if I can well, this forward actually. Oh, too far. So there's not that. Oh dear. Alright. Into the corner here. Up into the corner. Over. Alright. So with that in mind, let's try it anyways. This one is lighter and this one is darker, but very melony. So the melon comes out very, very strong. Let's see if adding some candy that look like the little slimes from, let's see, and wouldn't you guess it, they came out looking all green too. Let's see, let's pop one in our mouth. Wow, it tastes exactly like the Ramune soda. So, and the other one, let us, well, see if it it's pretty well on the knife. There you go. So, as you can see, they act like boba in this one. And well, I think mine, unfortunately, is, well, chocolate-lacking. I should have... So, science lesson with all of this. Different drinks tend to have different specific gravities, or specific gravity is when things float or rise or things like that. So if you've ever combined oil and water, well, let's just say they separated correctly, right? With that separation, well, that's specific gravity. So they divided themselves. So the specific gravity for these drinks, well, they didn't have one because both of them contain roughly the same amount of sugars. And as such, they mixed very easily. So there was no specific gravity. Whereas, say, if you were to get a drink that was more viscous, like, say, let's say milk here, kind of thing, since it's a lot more viscous, there is more likely to be a specific gravity. And as such, you'll probably get a better separation overall. Well, let's see. Here we go. But overall, cheers everyone. That's our first drink for tonight. So it was a lot of fun doing that one. And the candies are actually pretty nice too. So, let me finish this one real quick. And set it off to the side. So, next one. Very interesting. Was actually and requested for was the berry sunrise, which is, or the berry punch, which is, well, would be more Ramune, but let's use the cup again. This time, we do have something for the specific gravity. So, we are going to be using a coconut milk drink. As you can see, I already have. Yes, my mic does cut off for a bit because it's right here, off to the side right here. Actually, let me switch my microphone then. Yeah, how's that? Can you hear me now? So, I changed my microphone to my headset, and so you should be able to hear me better. So with that, we're going to be using this drink here. I am not product placing. I just bought things that I thought looked closest. And good morning to you too. So yeah, I bought things that looked the closest to it. So I was kind of last minute shopping while I was like, oh no, I have to get back in time. So alright. So let's try and give this a taste. Interesting. It tastes milky, and it actually has what you call mango in it. So a little bit sticky. So pour into the bottom. Ta-da! And cap this up. And well, since we have mango, I thought it only proper to bring out limoncello. So this is actually sparkling water. I am okay with sparkling water. They are good for their own uses. Yes, I'm a new streamer. Indeed I am. But yes, ta-da, sparkling water. New use. So we're going to be trying this, well, berry punch to get the look. And well, for that, we needed some berries. Ta-da! Yay! So I was able to procure this. Interesting berries. Because it wouldn't be much of a punch without, or berry punch without actually having some berries. So, in they go. Real pretty looking. And that, sealing it up. Alright, now, limoncello. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's see if specific gravity works its wonders here. Great. Careful, not too still. Well, let's see how it turned out. Well, it created an interesting fizzy drink instead. So, for the specific gravity of this, you would actually need something with a heavier syrup, probably. As such, that would keep it more on the bottom, less on the top. But there's also things called milk punches. In the field, we actually have some interesting ways to get around using said milk punch. But let's try this out. Okay, that's actually really good. It's, how should I put it? It does taste like a punch. So it actually turned out really well. And I'd be very surprised. But as you can see from the diagram right here, they did add milk. So let's see if we can, how it tastes with a bit of milk. Wow. So I'm going to be using a cold foam like this to try and get a higher specific gravity than this lower one. So now what? It actually looks more like the picture. As you can see, 2 colors. So, let's cap the cold foam. So, as I was saying, with specific gravity, you get a higher concentration and a lower concentration here. So, but it oddly looks like, well, a smoothie or a very light beer. Okay, so let's give it a try. Okay, that was very interesting. So, it went from very refreshing to, how should I put it, a creamy fruit drink. It was actually pretty good. So, I'm not sure if I can recommend or not, especially with those who have bellies. I wouldn't go out of your way to, or like bellies that can't really handle milk, but I wouldn't go out of your way to go get it. But it's definitely worth a shot. Alright. So, anyone here want to try and make anything from this list? Except for the tomato ones. But I will try my best. Otherwise, we will get on to about different teas. So, I am a big tea collector. So, like, if I want to wake up in the morning, instead of coffee, I use this gunpowder green tea. So, gunpowder green tea, while containing a lot of the good stuff from like green tea, has a higher caffeine content, and as such, gives you a bit of a kick in the morning. It's not nearly as much as coffee, but, well, I'd rather have the health issues, or the health, rather than the coffee at the moment, because, well, as you learn from the void, your health is everything for you. Mm-hmm. Then you get nice tea caddies like this, where basically I have a whole bunch of tea in it. Right now it has a green tea that has like rose hips, orange, things like that in it. So it's really good and really tasty. And it actually makes an interesting sunset color in your teapot. Alright. There we go. This is a tea I picked up in my rounds around Asia. I believe it was Thailand that I picked this one up in because I wanted to try it. So this is a red type tea that they serve, and it's actually pretty good. So this red tea tends to, you think there's only like green and black tea, or some people only know, I believe it's called Lipton tea, and well, Lipton tea is a very interesting tea. It would be considered in most areas around the world a low standard tea, but that's what makes it great. You actually make what is called sweet tea, which is literally the excuse to make well, an uncarbonated one of these. So that's a lot of fun. This one is very interesting. It actually looks kind of like a black tea. If you can see inside, it's all roasty, toasty, chocolatey. But it's actually a green tea that's been, well, roasted for a very long time. And it gives off roasty, toasty flavors. So I use this one a lot when I want to create teas that have that more, how should I put it, toasty feeling, especially milk teas that it doesn't tend to blend well with like fruits and things like that, but with heavier, creamier kinds of flavors. Okay, you have your. I showed you all the other types of things, but now you have things that are a-okay. Honestly, I am a big proponent for packets. As you can see, this is a packet tea. It is this is a kind of higher quality one because they are using more than just what's called fannings. They're using well, the grades of tea go from golden orange pekoe to orange pekoe to, I believe, keloid to fanning to like dust. So this contains no dust. This contains some orange pekoe, some cuboid, and also whatchamacallit, the fannings in it. Because basically, once you dip this, you do actually have to let it set for a while, and you have to get the temperature correct. So other green tea bags, right, are amazing as well, especially if you mix them with other things. But what fannings are great for, and like the squares or the cuboid ones, are great for very fast distribution of its contents because it has more surface area, whereas things like orange pekoe does not have more surface area. So basically, you have to be a lot patient as well. It blooms, and bloom it does. It needs quite a lot of space. So see how this bag right here is mostly empty? Well, once you get this wet, they all rehydrate, and this bag pretty much fills up completely with tea. So back in the bag you go. Wow. Alright. Then, there's another types of tea out there. This is a chocolate coconut type tea. So these are heartier flavors, like that roasty toasty one, where I do actually like that roasty toasty one. So these come in satchels like this instead. And these satchels give things the flavor of chocolate and coconut and things like that without being actual chocolate and coconut, which is very tasty at times, especially if you, how should I put it, want a hot chocolate thing, and it just gives it a bit more punch. So adding tea to things at times is actually very nice. Now, if you want what's called a white tea that's super floral, well, this is pretty much as floral as you can get. This is a pineapple type tea that I was able to procure in Hawaii, I believe it was. And as you can see, hi there! Hi, Chewy. But yes, it comes in a lot. The fannings are a lot more broken up here, so it's not as high grade tea, but it does give off quite the pungent scent of pineapple and things like that. And well, it's very nice to sip on or leave for a cold drink. If you mix this with a sangria, or use this kind of tea and use this and pour the water into a sangria, very good, very good. But, or I just make lemonade with it as well. Lemonade is actually very good with certain types of teas. But, so this is probably the tea you're usually used to, which is literally you open the packet, rip it open, and you take off the little dongle, and there you go. You have your tea. And, well, this is perfectly fine as well. So, honestly, however you can get more liquid and healthier liquid into you is great. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about other things people do. Just try your best and see what tastes good to you, because there are so many different things, flavors and teas and things like that to try in this world. You can find something healthy for yourself without having to rely on, say, maybe a soda or something like that, because soda at times can be leaching of certain phosphates and things like that in your body, weaken bones and stuff. But at the same time, yeah, it's, well, as you can see, ta-da! Ta-da-da-da. Well, I may be able to teach you how to make soda in the future. Things like making Coca-Cola or that kind of recipe, Dr. Pepper, different fruit teas, vanilla teas, things like that, aren't all that hard actually. You just need a way to carbonize the actual fluid itself. So usually you use something like a soda stream or things like that. In the past though, to make your own soda, oddly, people did use yeast. So it was a very, very low grade beer. So when people say that there's flavors in craft beer, they're actually absolutely right, because people have been doing this for ages, and as you know, if you kind of cork up yeast and things like that, if it eats the sugar, it kind of, well, I don't want to say belches because that would be incorrect, because it eats it and it doesn't belch it, it defecates it. So a lot of the stuff that you are drinking and stuff like that is, little yeasty defecations. So, yay! Some things are useful in their own special way. What else do I... Oh, so there are things like this that help the body. I do recommend them at times because basically if you don't get enough hydration at times, you can, well, replenish very quickly, very easily. And this is what's called a rehydration solution, where it has enough salt, sugar, and liquid in it that basically it restores what's called electrolytes in your body, which give you a balance and keeps your mind, body, everything going. So if ever in doubt and you are in trouble and you need to rehydrate very quickly, it's about to create your own rehydration solution. You need about 1 teaspoon of salt to, I believe it is 1 tablespoon of sugar or something like that, to about every cup of water. So every cup of water, you do that to it and you rehydrate very well. So this may be a bit gruesome, but if you are very, very sick, like if you are not able to keep fluids well in your body, things like that, rehydration solution is a big, big answer, and I do highly recommend rehydration solutions. Gatorade is a rehydration solution, Propel, this body armor. There's a bunch of them out there that are actually trying to help people, well, trying to capitalize on people, but also there is a way to help people through all of that stuff. Let's see. But, okay, let's put this away. Well, I wanted to show this off. because earlier we went over the stuff that was for the Genshin Impact event, and this was the VIP pass. See how cute it is? It has EULA on it, or end user license agreement on it, which is an odd joke, but as you can see, it has the blueberries, the tea, things like that. So, interesting thing is when blueberries are cooked or they're smashed or things like that, their juice does not come out blue. It comes out purple instead. So if you want blue actual dye kind of things, you need, I think, like butterfly flower and things like that instead of blueberries, which, well, is more like purple berry. So in the future, if you ever want that kind of stuff, well, speaking of though, I always keep a giant thermos with me. As you can see, this is my thermos. There's maybe many others like it, but this one is mine. It contains quite the amount of fluid in it, 32. This is a vacuum thermos. It is actually great for keeping fluids hot or cold for a very, very long time. This one is very actually well built. I made hot tea last night. I forgot to drink the hot tea last night, and well, on stream right now, I am actually drinking hot tea from here, which it actually stayed, well, pretty dang warm. So, yeah, I'm kind of lazy at times too. I didn't have enough time, so let's see if I can pour this more into a nice ceramic or traditional teacup. Ta-da! See how it is. This is honey lemon tea. As you can see, it took on the properties of both honey and lemon, as well as changing the green tea color from one way to another way. So this is what I usually drink on stream, and basically to keep my voice going and keep myself alive. So yeah, I highly suggest actually, if your throat isn't doing too hot, or if you have a lot of mucus in there, drinking hot honey lemon green tea with a pinch of salt in it is actually a good thing, because the heat cleans up all the stuff. The green tea keeps things good in your body. The lemon is a antiseptic, which basically it means it uses the acid to clean up the area. And the honey in it is what's called an analeptic, which it actually means it harms bacterial cellular bodies and makes their walls thinner. So honey lemon green tea, and with a pinch of salt, because the salt makes the area around that area harder to survive for bacteria. At times I put in ginger as well, because ginger has been a well-known used ingredient for a very, very long time for tummies that are not doing so hot. And if you want something for, let's say, your lungs, instead of putting fresh ginger in, which is good for your belly, you put in grated ginger, which is said to be better for your lungs instead. So, interesting little home remedy science facts kinds of things. There we go. But I also use other teas from around the world. So I have an Earl Grey right here. So what Earl Greys are is an English breakfast tea that is a black tea, and well, yeah, let's just say it kind of packs a caffeine punch, as well as it can be very bitter if you don't know what you're doing. So on it right here, it does say how long to steep it, what temperature to steep it at, things like that, because those are all very important. Because if you just boil water and pour it over the tea, you are going to have a very, very, very bitter tea. And if you even boil the water at the correct temperature and just leave the tea inside there, you're still going to have a very bitter, bitter, bitter tea. And, well, as much as I enjoy bitter, I'd rather be able to taste all the flavors and things like that in it. And then, so speaking of salt, we have the sweet Himalayan detox green tea. So, say, one moment while I deal with that. But yeah, so detox is something you don't really have to worry about. A lot of the times what detox means is you are going to yourself. Let's just say goal number 2. So use it sparingly, and with using such a thing sparingly, well, let's just say you may not be able to get its full flavor, so be careful. It's up to you, and let's see. There we go. All right. So, from that, you actually just have to be very careful. So I have dabbled in what you call medicine, and there is medications, natural medications out there that let's just say you don't go lightly. You go can't really leave the toilet. So it's yeah, if you want to be careful around such things, I don't want to mention what the natural medications are here, in fear of anyone being used wrong, but they are easy to look up for yourself, and such things can be used to good or evil. As it said, enough medicine is poison. Certain poisons are medicine. So just be careful with your time and, well, how things are with that. Okay. So I have a neat device on my desk. This is a tiny one little thing of it makes about 1 cup of tea. So all you need to really do is, I have a giant water, and pour it in. There's little lines inside that are indented, so you know how much to pour in. So what happens is this little whisk thing whizzes it up like crazy, and basically the bottom side is heated. So basically more kinetic action is happening inside, and as such it is creating an effect where that heats up very quickly, and it makes, well, about 1 cup of tea. So it's a great thing, and I will be using it right now to show you maybe some other teas. There we go. All right. Speaking of, though, let us make I've been speaking about tea, this, right? Well, some of you are going, when are they going to speak about matcha? Well, I have matcha right here in a packet, already powdered up, things like that. So that's what this stuff is actually going to be making. So we're going to be making matcha right now, which is really nice. And, well, yeah, it can be a little bit bitter as well. So careful with how much you use. So there's different grades of matcha, and depending on what you're going to be using it for, it's okay to use meh grade, especially in mixed drinks. If you want to taste actual matcha, it will be vibrant green in color, and well, you're going to actually have to scour and pay quite a sum of money for that kind of stuff. So good luck with you. It also, cooking grade matcha is perfectly fine to use for cooking. Going higher than cooking grade matcha for cooking is kind of a waste unless you're making like amemitsu or things like that, or like, which is like jellies or mochi or things which rely heavily on that flavor. But yeah, so if you're making a cake, if you're making bread or making a spread onto something, it's perfectly fine to use just cooking grade. Recently in the news, there was news that there's problems around higher grades of matcha being available due to its popularity. So as such, yeah, I would be wary if you around the price points of matcha grade items and things like that. So if you can get away with a lower grade, do the lower grade. You can, if you need the high grade, do not skimp, because high grade is very it's worth its money, especially for flavor. Okay, so as you can see, screen, it's not that vibrant. So this is a cooking grade matcha, and because it's a cooking grade matcha, I don't really, it's not going to be super florally, it's going to not have extra notes, but it is perfectly fine for a warm cup of tea. And because of that, if I could have a spoon, actually, steal these candies off this knife. What the? I am not going to use a tea whisk or things like that. You can use a tea whisk. I am not making anything fancy. I am here at my desk. I am not doing a tea ceremony, although I can do a tea ceremony if you wish. Yeah, my journeys around the world studying humans have led me to a great many discoveries and interesting things. So, as such, well, this is how I have come to figure out so much about different things. Whereas, let's try. Well, it's definitely matcha, and it's a little bit bitter, but because it's lower grade, it's, let's just say, not too bad. But yeah, this is one of those also special cups that change when they are heated, and it has an interesting design on it as well. So here's to you degenerates. Alright. Okay. So there are other drink types. So oddly, my favorite chaser in the whole wide world is ta-da, Calpico. So for drinks in general, I tend to like Calpico, especially when it's mixed with ginger ale. As you can see, Calpico and ginger ale go very, very well. I like the white peach version because it tastes like peach for me, and I enjoy momos. Let's say a peach can represent many things. But as you can see, I enjoy the white peach flavor. You do this, and you do whatever you want to kind of mix in with it. And it, yeah, I tend to do that a lot. Things that are more bitter, things that are not so great tasting, probiotics, things like that. These two together just kind of make a fizzy drink, fizzy yogurt drink, and it is sweet, and it is nice, and it's good, and it goes down very, 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 very easy. Okay. All right. Then, as for honey in your teas, because it's a good natural sweetener, things like that, have to always go with the bear. See? The bear. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da. So this is the usual honey. I don't always have a bear on me. At times, I tend to buy in bulk, so it tends to be a vat of honey instead. But for teas, just a tiny bear at times is real good. Just a touch of lemon and some honey from your bear, and you're all good. Have fun. Be happy with that. But as I was speaking earlier, this is a pot of coffee that I made prior to the stream. And as such, I actually flavored the coffee with chocolate and coconut because I wanted extra flavors, because I know that's sacrilege to many, many people, but we are doing mixed drinks here, and as you can see from the Genshin drinks over here, all of them, a lot of them require coffee, and those coffees are used to make mixed drinks in all sorts of various wonderful ways. And with that being the case, let us try another mixed drink. Alright, so let us use this little sealing jar real quick, because I want you to be able to see what goes on the inside when things get mixed up after I pour this. So, are there any requests for any of the drinks right now that look interesting to you? Above me, right there. Ta-da! A bunch of different ones. So, I tend to mix coffee with more heavy type items rather than berry type items. But some different coffees, I believe like Guatemalan coffees or things like that, or like down south coffees in South America, tend to have a bit more fruity notes to them, versus like in Africa where they tend to have like more chocolate notes, or depending on the area and things like that. So let us get to mixing, since no one seems to have a real request. Let us do something interesting. So, the matcha. So, we'll do the all the way one Adipel side of the mountain. So, we're going to be adding some of the green tea matcha to this. Alright. Right. And then clean that up real quick. we are going to be, it looks like there is a cloud layer in the center. So that cloud layer is going to be the cold foam again. So we're going to be using cold foam. Pick it up real well. And what? Remember what I was saying about specific gravity? So this should float on top, as you can see. It did not mix, it did not turn green. And with that, we are going to add our coffee. Off to the side. Well, as I was talking about earlier, different specific gravities do different things. So this is now sealed, so it should be okay. So now you can see it turned into kind of mud water, whereas the cream is staying on top, the coffee mixed with the matcha on the bottom. But since it is a type of heavier flavor, floral heavier flavor, it can go with the coffee. If you know, there in actual art, there is a what's called a color wheel, and in this color wheel, there's like red, yellow, blue, and basically how they mix on the sides. So with it mixing, red and blue gets purple, blue and yellow gets green, and then yellow and red make orange. And then basically on the opposite sides makes a basically muddy, kind of yucky brown color, or muddy brown color. So basically, if you mix like blue and orange, you don't get a great color. If you mix red and green, even though they're the colors of Christmas, you don't get a great color, things like that. So we mixed the reddish kind of brown coffee with the green, and well, you can see the result. But let us see how it is after mixing it completely. So now I mix the cold cream in. Let's see how it tastes. All right. Actually, that was actually pretty good. So it ended up tasting like a creamy, flowery coffee. So not that bad. And it's a quite pleasant flavor. And I wouldn't be upset if I were served something like this in actual coffee place. So let me put this off to the side. Okay. What else do I? Well, we have the zero sugar sparkling ice. So we have green. So let me show you live in person how these two show. Like, as you can see, this is reddish, this is green, and well, we'll see what kind of color it turns into. All right. Since I'm not going to be using up. Let's unscrew this. Right, red goes in first. So when it comes to food, color coordination actually takes a lot for the palate. Or your eyes eat before your stomach does. And basically, your eyes eat, then it's your nose, and it's your mouth. So basically, your eyes always eat first. So that's why colors and things like that are important. So, mixing these two together, you can now see, kind of looks like Coke with its brown colorization and things like that. So it's always interesting when you do your own science experiments and things. But since it is melon and this is indeed black raspberry, let's give it a taste. That's actually pretty good. It tastes like I kind of made a smoothie of a bunch of things together. Like berries and like pieces of melon and things like that. So it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. Uh, I would go for it, especially since one actually has sugar and one has no sugar. So we're getting a kind of a interesting speedball kind of here. All right. So here we go. Glass, a yogurt type drink. So, in the past, I talked about separation, how casein separates from the whey, things like that. It makes drinks super silky, things like that. But that is just normal milk. Well, I would say whole milk, 2% milk, 1% milk. I don't really count skim milk as milk because, well, it's more water than milk. But yeah, if you mix in the wrong ratio, like if you're using a carbonated drink with milk, it tends to go very awry. So why did I suggest this yogurt drink with what? With the ginger ale, if milk separates with carbonation, since it is carbonic acid. So, right. There we go. Alright. See how it's actually fizzing up right now? You can see the bubbles. Lots of bubbles. All the bubbles in there. But the big thing is it's not separate. It's not separating, as you can see. This is the glass down here, but yes, it's not separating. Why it isn't separating is because this is a yogurt type drink, and yogurt has a higher, more packed in casein content. So it's why we use things like heavy cream and things like that when we're making fettuccine alfredo or stuff like that, because it can break, but it actually can stay together and emulsify and incorporate everything together, which is a good thing, where you get that super creamy flavor and all that stuff from that. And as such, you want to kind of keep up with that and mix in the cheeses with that and have the salt and things like that, so that it can actually all hold together one piece. If it didn't, you would just have a runny, breaky, yucky, oily mess on your hand, which sometimes it does if you overdo it with ingredients and stuff into the milk. It will break and all that oil will. It makes for a heavy, yucky kind of drink or food. Sorry. But cheers, everyone. But yes, I do enjoy this very much. I don't get it often, but, well, not a bad thing. Especially if you're taking a route that is more not liver friendly. Well, I did bring a pink strawberry one with me, so let's try mixing them together with the yogurt. And since this is, as you can see, coconut milk, it's not actually real milk. So it's not going to separate too much, but as you can see, there's actually an interesting reaction going on, right? So the carbonic acid is actually turning this into little whey particles, kind of. So it is separating out a little bit, but it's still drinkable. Whereas if it turns into casein too much, well, yeah, it's since this is coconut milk, it should be fine. But I would not suggest with actual milk because you would probably have a very hurt tummy. So let's well, give it a shot. Still rather smooth, still rather creamy, but it didn't turn out the best because, well, the ginger ale over here packs a bit more zestiness, which complements well with the acids inside in yogurt, because the probiotics in yogurt turn their environment into an acidic environment after eating the sugars in it. So this is very interesting. Meh, it's okay though. Probably won't drink it again though. Wouldn't make it again. But let's see. What else is there that I can do? Well, did any of you wish to see how, even if I pour the milk first, how it separates? Alright, let's use the wine glass here. Okay, and I am breaking out coffee creamer. This is dairy coffee creamer, so yes, it is very heavy. It's closer to heavy whipping cream, also, but it's also known as half and half. So, all right. See how thick this is going in? So this is pretty thick, and from what you can tell, right? Well, let's pour the coffee. See, it's not mixing well naturally. The coffee is staying on top of the cream, which is fairly heavy. So as you can see, there's still a cream line at the bottom here. Right here. Move this down, that's white. And the coffee is still on top. So the cream has a higher specific gravity than the coffee, and that's why a lot of the time an implement to use percussive force. Percussive force just means, well, you're gonna just mix it or hammer it or do something with it. And as you can see, it turned much lighter in color very quickly. So a lot of these drinks above me, up there, up, 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 all over here, require specific gravities for different things. So I would surmise that they are using very, very specific ingredients to change things around and actually, well, let's just say, make some of these more interesting drinks. Whereas I'm stuck with some interesting colors, but overall have mostly had failures. But that's not a bad thing. Failing and finding out is at times the best way to moving forward, because you have eliminated one route and opened several more. Wow, that's sweet. Okay. Well, then from here, what else should I do? Well, alongside, I bought peach candy. Let's see if they turned out like the other candies, which the Ramune candies actually turned out green, which is kind of a disappointment because I was hoping they'd turn out blue. But hey, not everything comes out as you see. So these turned out rather peachy and more along the lines of orange. It's pretty tasty though. But Asian flavors tend to be a bit more on the interesting side. They tend to mix well and have, how should I put it? Have interesting flavors both to and away from the actual source. So the peach flavor there is more along the lines of what you would say apricot and things like that, rather than actually biting into an actual peach. And the peach flavor in North America tends to be stray away in certain areas where it is maybe too flowery and light, but it's more chemically tasting. So you have to kind of pick your battles when it comes to flavoring. If push comes to shove, I would say tend to go with the Asian flavoring over American flavoring, or like any of the Americas, north or south, because they tend to be whereas things like the Asian flavoring tends to be more pronounced and have a bigger pop. But if you need subtle and you don't mind the chemically flavor, well, America isn't all that bad for that. Well, as well as Canada, things like that. A lot of people are trying to get more towards natural nowadays. Like, here's unnatural. So they've said that this right here, this cream soda, is natural flavoring, where it's more not, this isn't derived actually from vanilla. And why it has this flavoring is that it comes more from not even imitation vanilla, but they supposedly still use the cask barrel flavoring, which is after whiskey and things like that have been aged to perfection, the barrels themselves, since they have been charred and had all their, how should I put it? So alcohol is a solution, and a solution, what it does is it leaches things and has this mix up with other things. So it's why a lot of tomato sauces, you add wine to a tomato sauce, because tomato sauce doesn't have everything unlocked unless you add an alcohol to it, which is a solution. And that solution makes things taste a bit more pungent, a bit better, things like that. So, going back to it, these barrels that have aged the whiskey, inside it now have a solution. So they go through another time and re-leach everything they can from it, and the flavors that are re-leached from it is what creates imitation vanilla. And there's imitation stuff, and that's very interesting. Hi, Hashiroki, thank you for following me. Oh. So, as you can see, this is a mass-produced product, A&W cream soda. So there are products out there that are trying to go for more natural flavorings, like steeping a lot of it into we're trying to make interesting drinks, but non-alcoholic this time around. So a lot of this stuff is trying to imitate this Genshin stuff right here with non-alcoholic ingredients, where alcohol has different specific gravities and would probably be able to make some of these ones a heck of a whole lot easier, because I know a few of them already that I could swap out and actually get my specific gravity for. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, as I was saying, with vanilla, you really have to try like your local people, things like that, because there are mom and pop shops that actually sell like vanilla sodas and stuff like that are made from all natural ingredients and aren't actually all that bad for you, or natural flavorings and stuff, but you have to be careful, very, very careful. So a lot of this stuff right here can also, you may not think it, but they can also cause allergies as well. So a lot of people actually have either lactose intolerance or actual, oh yeah, there's a lot of good and neat places. In the international hub where I'm at, it's really easy to find stuff from all over the world, and like from different breweries, as well as like soda breweries and stuff like that. So you get everything from all over the world all coming together, and when that happens, something beautiful happens, where you can actually try all these like ramune with these mass market brands, with these brands from like different parts of the world, where you have like Nakua on your side and things like that. Even candies that are strange in color but have very pungent flavors. So it's actually really neat. Yeah, the international community is very understanding in its own ways, and as such, they try to bring about a lot of the times the best in each other, because, well, they want to understand each other. So through drinks, through food, through music, through so much, a lot of people try and understand each other, and that is just a little bit of chaos, a little bit of madness, but hey, it's better than the insanity of, hey, just like, let's all be in line, shut it down, things like that. You want everything a big melting pot, because some of these ingredients and flavors I would have never been able to procure just by going down the street. and I would have never made it back in time. It would have cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars just to procure all these ingredients if I wasn't at this international hub. So I'm very thankful. And as such, I'm sharing it with all of you, which is really fun. And, well, as you can see from up here, there are so many different flavors, so many different types, so many different things, even in a video game, that they're trying to be part of the international community as well. Even though it's a game from, well, which is China, as you can see, all of this, like, looks like what's a Mai Tai. This looks like a thing from the bars in Shinza. This looks like a mint julep from the south. Like, there are so many things that, well, come together to make a greater whole. So, well, even though the shakalaka or shakalacking failed a bit without its specific gravity, and I forgot to get a skewer to put this on top, it still actually tastes pretty good with the international flavors. So I'm probably going to mix some limoncello into it to cut the sweetness and make it easier to drink. And together, hey, you have a whole new thing just waiting for you to try. Like how we mixed green tea and coffee and creamer together, and it actually turned out well. Yeah, it's with how international a community we are, it's also at times you want to be part of that international community too, and you don't know until you get to be part of that thing. So it's why myself, I have been able to be lucky and what's called globe hop as I study humans. So humans have different mannerisms, different abilities, different all sorts of things, and that's what makes us special. If we try and put down or kick out any of those specialties, it's really hurtful to our future. And as such, how should I put it? You worship at that point the gods of insanity versus the gods of madness. Where the gods of madness we want chaos. We want that a little bit of blast out there where people are meeting each other, minds are being expanded and grown and things like that, where every day is a new adventure and stuff, where chaos isn't always a bad thing. Chaos can help people and make them grow and make them thrive, whereas insanity, well, sadly, if you're trying the same thing out over and over and over and over again and trying to force it to work, well, you're going to get a lot of fight back to try and move on to madness instead, because we already see insanity doesn't really work well. So why not try a little bit of madness? But hey, wherever you're at in the world, there may be individuals you can make friends with who will be able to say, hey, I'm going to bring you XYZ, or I'll ship you this from a local specialty here, or things like that. And sometimes they get caught at customs, but don't mention that. But a lot of the times it's gifts, and gifts for friends, gifts, things like that. Like, if you give someone in Canada, the United States, or Mexico, all their chocolates are different for each area. Then you go to the EU, and you have like Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, the Irish, all like those in England and stuff, and they're all different, making different things from different stuff. So it's good to see the personalities from different areas when you get the chance and make friends. But that's why I am so glad you're here, Shirokin, or Shiro, because hey, you're meeting people from different parts of the world. So hello, you're part of the international community with us, and now we can all be acquaintances. And as such, well, hey, a little bit brighter, a little bit, and we've grown a little bit more. That's the secret of it all. So, nice. Hi. But yeah, so welcome, welcome once again. Welcome international community, welcome local community, welcome one and all, because you're all special to me and all amazing in your own way. So, as such, I welcome you. And, well, I'm more than happy to take your recommendations on drinks and mixed drinks and things like that. Next time I may be trying to cook food or something like that. So I am more than happy to try food from around the world and things like that because I study humans. You humans are interesting. And, well, because you're so interesting, I'm interested in you. So, bring me all you got. I am hungry for knowledge and always hungry for more. And that's just a part of it. Like, I have been reading interesting books out there that come from all sorts of places in the world. I've read books from Asia, North America, the European Union, and all that stuff. So, I study humans and how they work, how they think, how they interact, things like that. As an old god, my domain is, well, your knowledge, and you all wish me into being. So I'm proud of that. And, well, I may be a weak outer god because, well, I have to rely on sentient life and worship as you all pray for that test and that grade or that passing that job or things like that. Well, guess what? You created me, and as such, I'm very proud of that as I try and help you experiment and experience growth and new things. Because as you grow, as you experience new things, it's actually been proven by your human scientists that your mind expands, it creates more connections between each other, and as such, you grow smarter. So, I want you humans to thrive because, well, I don't want to be erased from existence because you humans didn't thrive. Because I need sentient life. I'm already weak enough as it is. So, studying you humans is a wonderful thing for me because that's how I help you thrive. Because I can't always rely on prayers, so I have to grow myself as well. So, thank you for being here. And thank you for helping me along with this journey as well, because it wouldn't be possible without all of you. So, I'm thankful. And this is a place for all of you, and a safe place. Always welcome, no matter what. So, what should I do next? What should I crack open? I still have the strawberry one over here. I still have the actual, like, I can make more tea. Oh? Well, have music on the back. Maybe. I don't know. Well, at least you're having fun here. Well, I, I'll make sure to curate a list of music and things like that. So maybe in the future, you can help me learn how to sing or how to play guitar or play drums or play any indigenous instruments to your area or things like that because, well, I want to learn. And learning is a lot more power. So I do want to sing. And so we'll maybe learn how to sing in the future and maybe in foreign languages as well, rather than just English. or just Japanese, or just Chinese, or things like that. We will learn Spanish, or Arabic, or French, or or Russian, or all sorts of things from across the world because, well, all of you are a very, very vast and wide community, and you should be represented as such. So, we'll see all together what we can create. Because as you create together, I grow, and as I grow, I can help you out more. So, please, if I think it's down below, as you can see, or way down there, down. If you join the Discord, you're more than welcome to leave comments and things like that, and basically say, hey, I want to see this, hey, I want to see that, and I'll listen, and we can definitely talk about it and see how we can grow as a community, because I want to see all of you grow, because that's special to me. So, what? I think the separation has gotten worse in the milky, or this stuff. So, yeah, I'm probably going to throw the strawberry milk one out. But we learned from that because this is an acid. This also uses carbonic acid, which is... yeah. At the moment, I don't have anything playing on stream. You're more than happy to. I am happy if you want to actually recommend me music and things like that to play in future streams, because I want to represent you and how my community is. So, come visit me in my Discord and let us exchange thoughts. Let's see. What? Okay. What other... Oh, I do have one neat tea. So, this is a wild blueberry with acai tea. And what it does is it turns a very, very, very staining, by the way. Thank you. A very, very vibrant staining color of purple. So that's us. That in there. And that. Let's see. I don't have much space, so I'm probably not gonna drink the coffee since it's quite an hour right now. So let us boil up some tea real quick, and I can show you vibrant shades that come from different tea types. So as you can see, once again, I have my little thing. Da-da-da. Then you pour it in. Water goes in. Alright, where is up? Alright, so as this heats up once again, there we go. We will be using this cup over, but since it's clear, you can see what vibrant shade this becomes, and I can probably add a bit of milk to it to see what kind of shade it becomes. It's neat to experiment with different shades and different tastes and different flavors. So let us all off. But what? Okay. I have the neat little holders for the tiny teacups over here. I'll probably use them. But And this one, because it is now over full and very funky looking, I will probably pour it out later. So there we go. So more coffee. And oh, so as I was talking about with this mug, as you can see, it turned black again. So this is a heat temperature sensitive material that goes clear when it gets heated up. And then when it no longer is heated up, it turns to black. So unfortunately, the degens have to head back again. Alright. Okay, we have tea. Wow, that's a lot of water. Oh, that one. You see, it's already starting to become a very vibrant shade of purple, but slowly but surely. This is what I was talking about earlier, that blueberries do not become blue. They become purple when mashed. So it's a very nice hue though. And this is how you play with different hues, with different specific gravities. So if you have a large tea container, so yay big, not yay big, big pitcher, you can pour different things at different times. And sometimes if you let them set, they separate by themselves. So a lot of the times with my favorite, the honey lemon tea, I actually get where the bottom has what looks like the setting fiery sun, which is darker. Then it goes into a yellow because of the green tea. And then at the top, it has a smidgen of like light, like bluish kind of color coming off the top of it because, well, I tend to mix teas at times. So, like, one of my favorite ones is the blueberry tea. So I use the blueberry tea, and it likes to chill on top because I can only find blueberry tea like this in bags most of the time. So it has that full gradient of color all the way down, and it looks like a perfect sunset. So next time I make tea like that, I'll take a picture and show you all. So it can be fun. Well, as you saw, you can see it got very, very dark very quickly. But this is why also we need specific temperature for the tea to let it all it out. So basically, this warmed enough so that this tea bag right here, which is meant to infuse very quickly, actually let out all the tea flavoring really quick. So more often than not, especially if it's a bitter tea, I would just toss it. But since this is what's called a white tea, or it's just mostly berries and things like that, or husks and stuff, I tend to just leave it in because it doesn't get bitter at all. White teas tend not to get bitter. The closer you get to black tea, the more bitter it becomes. So, especially at higher temperatures. So that's why I believe you boil to, I think, 85 Celsius or something like that to get black tea at its perfect color. Or I believe in Freedom Eagle standards, that is 195? Yes, 195, kind of in that area, ballpark-ish. But you don't want to go all the way to boiling, which is 100 in Celsius or 212 in Fahrenheit. and well, that would make it very, very bitter. So this right now, though, which is just a berry tea, I could boil the heck out of it and it'd be fine. And it wouldn't get bitter no matter what. It would just extract everything it is out into the out into it. But for now, though, now that I've met some very interesting people, thank you Shiro for coming in and meeting, and thank you Chewy, and then thank you Riza, and then thank you Sunshine Seraph and all that. It was very pleasant for you to be here. But yes, for now, I have to clean up all this before, let's just say, it gets too loud for people around me. So for now, let us head back to chatting. Yay! So, hi everyone. Hi. So, I hope you had fun today. It was a rather quick stream. I know, I'm sad, but yeah, I had fun with all of you, and I got to meet all these great people and things like that. But here's the thing: my Saturdays will always be a teaching day. So if you want to learn something, just tell me, and I'm happy to try and do it. Like even if it is like, okay, teach me how to do taxes. Teach me how to change a car tire. Teach me how to change some oil. Teach me how to cook this. Teach me how to like do 3D work or live 2D or whatever. I'm happy to try and learn myself and actually teach you as well. So the big thing is on Saturdays is the day I teach. I hope you learn some stuff, especially with my science mumbo jumbo. And on Monday is usually going to be my learning day. I take Sundays off because, well, I have usually a mess to clean afterwards and things like that. And, well, I have to procure stuff for streams usually for Saturday and Monday. So I'm happy that all of you are here. And I hope to see you all on Monday. We will probably be learning about, well, why don't I take suggestions from you if any of you want to learn something? But unless I'll decide on Monday, then if I don't know, if no one suggests anything, that way I can, well, learn something neat. Because I actually did this stream, the tea stream, on the suggestion of Tired I Very Am. And I think I had a lot of fun with it, and I got to talk to you a lot and have fun and make new friends and things like that. And it was really neat. Originally, I was just probably going to teach you how to use boiled water well, but this actually turned out a lot better because like, I was just going to say, okay, this is how you make ramen, and have all these different types of settings and things like that. And yeah, no, this ended up being a lot more fun. Sorry, and it was fun being with all of you. So for now, though, I'm off. I'm running in. Well, I have a big mess to clean up, so I have my own chaos. So ta-ta for now. Honya.